Welcome to my review of The Irishman, directed by Martin Scorsese and starring Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Al Pacino. The film tells the story of mob hitman Frank the Irishman Sheeran as he looks back on his life and the hits that defined his mob career and the particular disappearance of his lifelong friend Jimmy Hoffa. This film has been hit with a lot of buzz from the media. No studio wanted it. It went to Netflix. It's extremely long. However, it's a reunion of Martin Scorsese going back to a mob movie with his classic actors, and I couldn't be more happy. There was a giddy side of me about seeing not only Joe Pesci back on the screen, but working on a Martin Scorsese film and working alongside De Niro and Pacino, and seeing these three veterans on screen is just pure delight. Scorsese has gone down a very interesting career path just in the last few years. He did Wolf of Wall Street, which is amazing, but it's exactly the kind of frenetic, dynamic, and energetic type of film that you expect from him. And then he did Silence, a very methodical, very veteran and mature film. And now he's going back to another mob movie, but he does it very much in the style of Silence, which I really love. The Irishman is an odyssey, and it's not a glamorous look into the mafia. It's not a celebration, let's say, like Goodfellas or Casino was. This is a very methodical, introspective, and hurtful movie to watch. It's an odyssey about this one man's life, and we take a look at how his life choices destroyed his soul. They take him away from himself. The Frank Sheeran we see at 80 years old is not at all the same Frank Sheeran we see at 20 or even 40 or even 60 years old. And my God, does Scorsese tell this story well. It feels like a true epic. I will tell you right now, there is stuff that I would cut out of this film. We'll get to that more deeply in a bit. But even then, this film would probably clock in at about 3 hours, 10 minutes. Robert De Niro gives his best performance in a while. And not that he has stopped giving phenomenal performances, but now I am not so sure that Joaquin Phoenix has a stamp on who's going to win the Oscar. Niro is truly spectacular. It's a dark, introspective look at this man's own self-destruction, even if he didn't realize that at the time. And De Niro plays it off so well, whether he's alone or whether he's playing off Al Pacino, who, my God, how good is he? Hoo-ha! He's back, baby! Just give him more to do, other filmmakers out there. Just put Al Pacino in your movie, please, because this film reminds you how good Al Pacino can be. The friendship between these two is so pure, it almost plays as a contrast to who these guys are outside that friendship, and it was incredible to see. It gives the characters such complexity. The way the story moves around, I found myself unable to predict what's going to happen because I don't know anything about the real life story or the supposed real life story, but I just loved seeing these two play off each other. I just loved seeing these two, period. Joe Pesci also is amazing. Another friendship that is a joy to watch, but is also very different because let's just say that Sheeran and Hoffa don't talk about the dark stuff, the dirty stuff that they have to do. They say stuff in other means for the other to understand. But when it comes to Russell and Frank, oh, these two don't give a shit. They say clearly what one and the other has to do, and they talk about this stuff freely. There are so many other characters that you can talk about in this film. Harvey Keitel is in it. Bobby Cannavale is in it. Ray Romano is really, really good. And the film is also really funny. It's so dark and so gritty. It mixes the young Scorsese that gives you these raw looks and extremely violent feels of the mob. Yet the lens with which he captures it is very much a veteran Scorsese. It's really making you not want to look at it because it's just so icky. It's such a world that you don't want to belong to. I never got bored for a second. There is always something going on with these characters. The wheels are always moving. In many ways, it feels like Scorsese is criticizing his younger self, not to glamorize and really understand the violence of these men and see the wreckage that they leave behind, not just literally, but mentally on themselves, and how much of a toll these actions and this type of life plays on them. No Scorsese movie pops in my mind when I think of being emotionally attached, like besides Silence or Relating, but Frank has a lot going on in his personal life, and the way his profession, let's say, affects his personal life is hard to watch. It hurts. You see throughout this film his personal connections with his family unraveling and just crumbling apart as the film goes on. The decisions not only that Scorsese makes with this film, but how he showcases them, show a somewhat less flashy Scorsese, but a nonetheless remarkable. He feels wiser, he feels more preoccupied with the soul of his characters and the reckoning of his choices and how those choices affect these characters throughout their lives and until the end. Now let's talk about the whole 3 hours and 30 minutes. Could this film be shorter? Yes. A lot shorter? No. There is a discussion to be had about what you chopped off. There is a lot of different opinions, I bet. But this film could probably have worked as a miniseries of 4 episodes, maybe 5 episodes, and that's it. Because none of the elements of this film, none of the timelines that say don't work, they all work. But to the point that you want to see more of them, to the point that you feel you needed more of them. So while I'm not going to say this movie is perfect, there are moments you chop off, but again, this will not be that shorter. I do feel it could have worked just a tad better as a mini-series, but that's just because there's so much good stuff happening. That's kind of the best flaw you can have. The Irishman is a film rife with characters, history, and several fascinating mob tales to tell, and Scorsese tells it in the most fascinating ways possible. I'm giving The Irishman an A-. Now, my beautiful geekies, let me know what is your favorite Scorsese movie, what is your least favorite Scorsese movie, and let me know if you are excited for The Irishman. I can't wait to come back with more reviews now that LFF is over, but I still have 2 small ones that I need to bring to you, so stay tuned for that and check out all the other ones I did for LFF. Thank you so much for watching. You are the best. So until the next video, don't forget to subscribe and like the video because it really helps me out. But most importantly, love each other and love the movies.